guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl DJ Nana Truth here, back with another video. Alright guys, so we're going to be doing the L Word Generation Q episode 7 review today. Episode 7 was called Lose It All. Now before we get into episode 7, let's just talk about the obvious. I'm sure you heard the news. The L Word Generation Q has been renewed for season 2. It's going to be another 10 episode run. There's no official air date of when it's going to be coming out. From what I understand, it's going to be at least a whole year that we're going to have to wait. So maybe by 2021, we'll actually get season 2 of Gen Q. But just to drop that little info and knowledge on you real quick. As always, just to give you a little info on the episode before we get into what happened. Bette is conflicted about old feelings. Shane is tested by her relationship with Kiara. Alice gets blindsided at home and work. Danny is busy with the election. Sophie feels relieved to have Finley around. And Micah introduces Jose to his mother. A lot going on. Every episode begins with a recap. Sophie's in the shower, Danny's on the phone about campaign shit. Brief interaction between them, but nothing really. Of course, Danny is still preoccupied with her work as usual. Finley busts into the bathroom. As you saw in the last episode, she's now staying with them. So she busts in the bathroom on her, comments on Sophie's body, and the two have a little look. Of course they are friends, but you know, there's something going on there. Pretty much tells her that that ass is tight. Ask her if she's been doing Pilates, you know, pumping her head up a little bit. Don't get me wrong, her body is nice though. So we get into this whole episode, the whole intro starts or whatnot. We begin the episode with a throuple. They made up in the last episode, so Gigi is back in the house, getting all settled in, changing everything up. Alice feels a little left out because Gigi and Nat is talking about dinner plans and a movie plan, but of course Alice has to work. And she like, well, maybe we should make this a rule that we're not doing stuff without each other. They don't seem like they hear her, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, you put yourself in this situation. But whatever, we're gonna talk about it. So Alice has a meeting with the network plan and she's talking to them about it as to why she can't make it to dinner or a movie. She wants changes to come and, you know, she wants Drew fired. We go back to Sophie. She's in the house, she's at the shower. She's in the kitchen cooking around Danny, maneuvering around her because she's too preoccupied with her phone call. Micah is in this episode and he appears setting the table up with Sophie as the two discuss his mom coming into town. And he seems a little bit upset to learn that the first thing his mom does is get off the plane and go to a weed store and get some edible gummies. I don't see the problem. Sophie gets a call, figures out that her grandmother fell and hit her head and she's in the hospital. She's upset, of course, she's gathering her shit to leave out. Danny is like, let me go with you. She's like, no, I got it, you go to work. Which was a setup. On her way out the door, upset of course, her grandmother's in the hospital and Mike's mother is at the door. She comes in and greets Micah with a look and love. We move on to Dana's, you know, Shane's bar. Shane, Bette, and Tina are all there together. Tina says that the place is beautiful and that Dana would have loved it. Shane agreed. Alice was also supposed to join them, but she's still mad at Bette over her line. Bette exclaims that she apologized, she don't know what more she can do. Shane just tells her to give her time. Tina agrees and that she'll eventually come around. Then they move the conversation over to Kiara and Shane. Ask how they're doing. You know, she says that they're good and that they get to hear the baby's heartbeat today because she is pregnant. Shane, she seems excited but more nervous than anything, I would say. Tina and Bette start sharing their experience when they first heard Angie's heartbeat. You know, had a little touching moment, connecting eyes and whatnot, you know, reminiscing on the good things from their past history and relationship. As they're talking about it, Bette reaches over and grabs Tina's hand and they have this little brief, you know, skin-to-skin contact that you tell jolted something in both of them. After they wrap up the whole baby talking conversation, they discuss Tina coming to pick up Ange for them to spend some quality time together to go to a museum. Then she drops a bomb on Bette saying that she wants to have dinner with her alone so they can talk. Tina also is going to be dropping Angie off at Jordy's house after they have their little museum trip. Shane is insinuating that they're going to be fucking. Bette has a little flip out about it, you know, mom flip out about her child possibly having sex or whatever. But, you know, they did that whole conversation. She just, you know, having a mom moment. Tina gets a phone call. Her woman, Carrie, calls her. She gets up and leaves from the table. Shane gives Bette a smirk. Bette asks her what, and Shane says she seems a little flushed. And Bette is just like, no, it's just the hormones. But Shane knows what's up. She trying to get that old thing back. Go back to Sophie. She's in the hospital with her mom and her sister. You know, her grandmother's there. She's talking to the doctor about how her grandmother needs some form of emergency surgery. After she finished talking to the doctor, You know, her mom and sister in there, they're all emotional, upset, thinking they should get a second opinion. They don't really trust the doctor. Just responding with their emotions versus thinking with a logical brain because it's their loved one and they're upset. Sophie had to, you know, take charge, basically, lay down the law, get them to calm down, relax, go get them some food, coffee, whatever, just keep their mind at ease. She leaves out the room. She has her own little moment away from them because she has to be strong in front of them and breaks down. Finley shows up with some snacks, drops everything and just hugs her and just gives her that comfort and love that she needs, you know what I'm saying, given everything she's going through. And then she has to put on this front for her mom and her sister because clearly they ain't got it. And worth noting, Finley gave Sophie this cute little forehead kiss. Now, forehead kisses don't mean a lot, but yeah, she gave her a forehead kiss. Just keep that in mind. So we go on to Danny and Bet. They at a coffee shop discussing campaign shit, of course. Her opponent is about to release a negative ad about Bet, and Danny's afraid of the negative backlash that the ad is going to bring to her and the campaign in general. She wants permission from Bet to do the same thing. Bet's like, nah, fuck that, I'm not doing that. That's not me, that's not what I'm about. Danny is frustrated, saying that she feels restricted from being able to do her job properly for Bet. She's just trying to protect her. Bet still is not for that shit. She did it. That she like, nah, I'm not doing that. Bet looks over at Danny as if she's worried that, like, if she's gonna even be able to maintain the job. But I mean, at this point, she's all she's got. So we go ahead to the doctor's office. Shane and Kiara are there. Like I said, they're gonna hear the heartbeat for the baby. Shane, you know, nervous, just like anyone would be playing with shit in the doctor's office. She's playing with the plastic mold vagina, you know, drops the shit on the floor. Doctor finally comes in and they hold hands while they're about to hear the baby's heartbeat. They hear the baby's heartbeat. Kiara, she like immediately gets emotional. Shane is just standing there looking kind of puzzled for a minute. Yeah, it's like no emotions for real being displayed on her face. He says the heartbeat sounds like horses stampeding through the mud. Move back to Alice. She's in her office. Like I said, she's going to be having a meeting with the network. So she's in the office talking to them, beginning just talking about how she's loving how the show's been going, but she feels like that she sees some changes that she wants to happen in a lot of areas for the show to improve and be better. As she's in the midst of saying all of that, Drew walks in late, a bit taken back because she didn't think he was going to be in a meeting, but yeah, he wasn't going to miss it apparently. But she gets back to what she's saying, and the network pretty much drops the bomb on her that, yeah, we want changes too, because if we don't see no changes, there will not be another season. And told her that the show is on the bubble. The ratings will way off the targeted numbers, and they need and want viral hits. That's not good news for her. She's very upset. So we go back to Dana's. Shane is there, you know, after hearing the baby's heartbeat. She's there with Tess, and they're talking about what's going on with the bar, the income, and all of that. She's saying that they were not bringing in enough money, and she's stressing the fuck out about it. Tess try to put her mind at ease because she clearly tells that it's not the bar that's stressing her out, it's other things going on. So she's talking to her about what she got going on with Kiara, her personal life, and opening up to her a little bit. And Tess pretty much encourages her to talk to her wife and keep talking to her, to just let it all out. There's not enough talking that you can do. Your feelings is going to change. It's not always going to be the same thing the whole time. Seems to get to Shane and for her that she actually needs to finally fucking open up. In that conversation, we learn that Tess is back attending AA and she is a whole 3 days sober. So we go ahead to Micah. Him and his mom and Jose are out to eat. We figure out she ate 4 edibles. I mean, he makes such a big deal about it. I figure I'd include it. She ate 4 before they got there. She ate 4 edibles. He's upset about it. He keeps bringing it up. I don't know why he just won't let it go. I don't really like how they got him being such a whiny character. It gets on my nerves. They're sitting there talking, you know, how moms do. Mom discussion about him and how he could have been a Boy Scout. His mom unfortunately slips up and says he was crafty even when he was a little girl. That set him on a whole nother tirade and he got really upset. Got more upset when his mom shared a picture of what he looked like when he was a girl to Jose off the wall. He gets super fucking upset, starts yelling at her, cussing at her, embarrassing her in a motherfucking restaurant, yelling, like being disrespectful as fuck in all reality, and saying that that little girl's dead, that girl's dead, she's never coming back, like just saying a whole bunch of hurtful ass shit, and storms out of the restaurant. I wasn't a fan of that scene at all. I didn't like that. He goes outside, Jose goes out there and calms him down and says that he sees him for a man, and as the man he is, and blah blah blah. They standing there looking all gushing and shit and kissing and like I said, the whole inside the restaurant scene threw it off for me, so I didn't really give a fuck if he got comforted at the end of that to make him feel better. I really didn't. I didn't care. We go ahead and move back to Beth. She's at the house cooking for Tina. She seems a little anxious and happy. Like I said, I think she wants that old thing back. At first, talking about how the museum visit went with Angie. Tina shares how she's been having a good time, spending all this time with Angie. Shares that she plans to move into town to be closer to Angie. Beth offers up her place until she can find a place of her own while she's moving up here to be closer to Angie and, just still be in the same house with her and shit. But then Tina drops the bomb and says that her girlfriend Carrie proposed to her. She said yes, so they're gonna be looking for a spot. Beth gets instantly upset. You can tell off with her body language. Everything instantly changes. She is not for the shit. She definitely was thinking this was about to be a rekindling type of situation, and Tina instantly did that shit. Tina, trying to progress on in the conversation, is talking about she wants all three of them to sit down with Angie and tell her about the things that's coming up as far as the move, them getting married and all of that shit. And Beth's trying to contain all of her emotions, but she's cry talking, hold back the tears and shit, and just has to say whatever she can to leave the room and go into the kitchen and break down. Tina already knew what's up and knew what it was when she was about to break that news, so I'm sure she wasn't shocked at her response. So we go back to Alice. After the meeting with the network, of course, she's upset. She's in her office, Drew's in the office. He thinks he can get him out of the decline, basically, and he knows that Alice doesn't like it. He tells her that they need a viral hit to stay afloat. Alice is apprehensive on even continuing to do the show after how that network meeting went. He convinces her to stay and just give it a shot, and that basically as long as you get those hits, those numbers, that the network will pretty much ride with you and let you do whatever you want to do. You just have to hit those certain things that they want you to hit first before they give you your creative freedom. Alice says okay, and she's up to discussing for what they're going to do for the show. We go on to Nat and Gigi. They at the house. Nat is watching Gigi read to themselves. After that, they go into the kitchen. They're talking about what happened in their marriage, relationship, and downfall of it. And Nat is saying that she wished they hadn't put the kids through all of this. Gigi asserts that Nat didn't give her a choice to fix things after she cheated on her. Nat says she didn't know how to and wish she did. They share a kiss. And then, shit gets real and they have sex without Alice. Like, it ain't no just a quick fuck type of deal. They definitely was bonded like a motherfucker in this sexual encounter, as if they was just still married, never got divorced, none of that. So, did that without Alice. I'm sure she's not going to be too happy about that. We go back to Sophie. She's still in the hospital with her grandmother, of course, that hasn't left her side. Finley is still there with her. Sophie says she's surprised Danny didn't show up. Finley, of course, has to remind her, you told her not to come. Sophie like, well, she should know me better than that. She should know I still want her to come, which she should. Duh. Finley did tell her to just ask for what she wants. Don't assume that she's gonna know. Just ask for what you want. Sophie is still upset about her grandmother being there, sharing memories, what you do basically when you think you may lose a loved one. Start thinking about all the good times you had, all the good memories you shared and all of that. So she's sharing those things with Finley at that time. And Finley offers to pray with her. She can tell that, that would mean a lot. She prays with her. Now that says a lot if you think about it, because if you've been watching, Finley has her issues when it comes to religion. So for her to sit there and offer to pray with her, that's some real life shit. Respect. Back to Shane and Kiara. Kiara's out at dinner alone, waiting for Shane to show up. She's sitting there, and she ain't show up. She, of course, is, recognizable. So you hear fans talking about she's there all alone and shit. And of course, the chatter got to her, and she eventually got the fuck up and stormed out. Shane meets her up at her as she's storming out the restaurant, just is like, what the fuck, what's going on? Shane gets there, she apologizes for being late, tells her that today was really hard for her. Thought she was supposed to feel something when she heard the baby's heartbeat, but she didn't feel nothing. And that scares her, and she doesn't want to fuck it up, basically. Kiara tells her that her response was really good. Shane is, fixer type of person. She wants to know how she's supposed to fix her emotions and to feel what Kiara is feeling. Kiara's telling her there's nothing to fix and that basically she will feel what she's supposed to in her own time. Shane asks Kiara if she's scared about being a parent, being pregnant and all of that shit. And she says no, but she tells her if that ever changes, she'll tell her. They, make up, go in, and go get some food. Back to Danny. She's been MIA. She comes in the house thinking it was Sophie in the house. Turns out to be Finley. She's there getting Sophie some clothes because, yes, she's still at the hospital with her grandmother. Danny shares what's going on with her campaign with Finley, like she really gives a fuck. Finley asserts that Danny should have been there for her today, like, that's her grandmother, what the fuck are you doing? You're her fiance, what are you doing? Danny brushes it off, telling her that you should go, given that you ain't got nothing going on in your life, and I do, basically, in a nutshell, what she said. Of course, Finley gets offended, and it's just like, well, whatever. You do what you want to do. I'm just a friend. You're the fiance. Danny seems to get the point that Finley is making about that she should be there. As we all know, she always puts her job before everything. Alright, we move back to Alice. She had that horrible meeting with the network, and now she's coming home. She comes into the house, she's talking loud, addressing both of them, thinking they're just somewhere, just chilling. And she stumbles upon them in the room, in the bed. They're acting all nonchalant about it and shit, and Alice is clearly upset. As soon as she sees the shit, she's upset. And they're just like, well, you want to get in, and just acting like it's just not shit. Nat says that she thought she would be okay with them fucking without her and that she was open to it. I didn't think her being open to them being in a three-way relationship meant that they could fuck without all three of them together, but clearly that's what the fuck Nat and Gigi thought. Gigi attempts to give Alice and Nat some time alone, and Nat flips the script and it's like, no, we should all talk about it together. We should all discuss it. And Alice tells Gigi, no, you stay. It's your house, it's your wife, it's your whole fucking life. And she storms the fuck out. Nat is calling after her, but Gigi stops her and tells her to give her time. Alice shows up to Shane's house, highly upset, of course, going off about how she caught them in the bed fucking. Beth appears out of the back hallway. Alice is not thrilled that she's there. They have some words, going back at it again, until they finally made the fuck up. And they're talking about what each other have going on. Alice is upset. She feels stupid for even doing a throuple. Says she just wants Nat. She doesn't want to lose her. Beth and Alice hug as they're both going through emotional things. Beth finding out Tina's about to get a whole ass married when she thought they was about to be able to make up. And Alice, the downfall of her whole relationship went from one girlfriend to two girlfriends to no girlfriend. Go ahead back to Micah. The house, making up the couch for his mom. He snaps at his mom once again for what happened with Jose. Says that she has to do better. She says that she's trying her best, but he said that her best is not good enough. You figure out that his dad unfortunately passed away and he's not there anymore, because she says that he was better with dealing with stuff like this and everything, I'm sure, in regards to his transition. She promises that she's going to do better. They make up and clear the air. She asks Micah if he told Jose that he loves him yet. He doesn't answer her. She tells him to hold on to him because she can tell that he loves him by the way that he looks at him and that they have a real love, basically. We go back to Sophie. She's up at the hospital reading to her grandmother. Danny and Finley show up together. She definitely seems happy to see Danny up there. It's short-lived because Danny gets a phone call about something to do with the campaign, and that pretty much takes over her whole life in that moment, and she leaves Sophie up there once again. Sophie's upset, but she's like, well, that didn't last too long. I wasn't expecting a two type of deal, unfortunately. Finley apologizes for Danny's behavior though. Danny shows up at Beth's. They're talking about the negative ad. It came out. They're watching it together. Danny complains about doing nothing and wants to come back with a negative ad of her own. Beth stands her ground once again and says no. She says that she has morals and standards, and that if she thought she was gonna let this homophobic asshole take her down with the bullshit ad, then she really doesn't know her at all. Danny, don't say shit. I mean, what really could she say? It's like, you either support me or you don't. She don't have no response. Back to Sophie. She's still in the hospital. Finley's still there. She's thanking Finley for being there for her all day and just walking around assuring her that she's good. She's gonna stay up there. It ain't that much room for her to be up there with her comfortably anyway. She just wants her to be able to go home and get some rest. They share I love yous, because they are friends. And Finley begins to walk away. Sophie grabs her hand and pulls her back in closer. Finley unsure of what to do as she's, damn near chest to chest, boob to boob to her, asking her what is she doing. And Sophie leans in and kisses her. They share a quick kiss. Then after that, it was like, sparks, and Finley came back with a very passionate kiss, and the two was kissing very passionately in the hospital. Yeah, Sophie and Finley got some shit popping, y'all. Alice is hanging out with Shane because her whole throuple situation, so she's actually staying at the house. Nat is blowing up her phone, but she ain't answering. Nat leaves this bullshit ass voicemail message talking about she needs to figure things out and says that she's sorry to Alice. Okay, so this is the end of the episode. What is gearing up to be the end of the episode. So as this voicemail that Nat is leaving on Alice's phone, it's flashed into some other scenes. It flashed to Alice and Shane hanging out, like I said. It flashes to Beth and Danny sharing a drink. flashes to Micah and Jose sharing edibles and then making out. After the voicemail, some time passed. Alice finally decides to meet up with Nat and Gigi out at a restaurant. Nat and Gigi apologized to Alice, says it was all confusing. The two discussed that they had things to work out from their relationship and things are better now. Alice looks so confused as fuck, like I'm sure all of us were. Nat and Gigi say they think that they can make it work. Alice is just like, wow. Snap, so glad I could push you guys to sorting out your divorce and get you in a really good place, and glad she was of use to them, basically being a sarcastic asshole. They say that's not what they're saying. Alice ain't trying to hear none of that shit. She asks if Gigi has been at the house the whole time. They don't answer, which of course is a yes. Alice and Gigi go back and forth for a little bit. Nat tries to assert herself, but Gigi shuts that shit down like, nah bitch, I got this. Gigi says that they're trying to figure things out to make it work, all three of them, with, those two with Alice. Alice says she doesn't think that she's really needed here. Says they look good together and gets up and says she will go. Waitress approaches with their food. She flips the fuck out. They got like a soup. One serving of soup with 2 soup spoons. Like, come on y'all, how old are we? And she slams the chair at the table and shit, storms the fuck off. So we end this whole episode up with Sophie. She's walking with her sister and she tells her that she kissed Finley. She tells her that she feels like a piece of shit for what she did. Her sister tells her that she's not, but asks her if she's gonna tell Danny. She says no, she's not gonna tell her because it's not gonna happen again. It didn't mean nothing. She shouldn't tell her, it's not that serious, it's not that serious. She's trying to convince herself and her sister, but her sister ain't having it or ain't trying to hear it, and seems like she also knows that what she's saying is not the truth and not what it is. And then episode over. The episode was alright. I give them 8 out of 10 for this episode. Saw the throuple coming to an end, of course. Shane and Kiara, hope it works out. Micah and Jose. I don't really like Micah and his attitude. I ain't gonna lie. He too. I don't know. I don't know. That whole little scene in the restaurant really threw it off for me. But overall, I think it was a good episode. I mean, it got renewed for a 2nd season. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm gonna be doing reviews for the 2nd season or not. We'll see. I don't know. I'll be back for the episode 8 review, the final episode of this 8 series run. If you're fucking with this episode review, go ahead and get a video of a thumbs up. If you're fucking with me, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. As always, guys, stay tuned for the next video. Peace.